All right.
Everything is running.
Okay, I'm going to call the landfill standing committee to order at 5:32. Can I have a roll call?
Annalise Smith.
Here.
Patrick Murray.
Here.
Mark Slocum is absent. Michael Calling is absent. Harvey Schweitzer. Here. Recording Secretary Scott Krager here. Alderman Eileen Madden.
Here.
Greg Burmeister.
Here.
Roland Kiefer.
Here.
Dan Olzenberger.
Here.
Chad Siegel.
Here.
And Joe Spear Jr.
Okay. Open forum.
Wait, statement of public notice. This meeting was posted in accordance with Wisconsin open meeting laws.
Good job. It's open forum time. I don't see anybody out there, so I'm going to assume we can move on unless, Chad, you want to get up and, okay.
There is one more seat if you feel lonely out there.
Okay. Okay, status of projects, clay extraction.
Jumping to me?
We're jumping to you. Oh, I skipped Joe. See, I'm just trying to do this as quickly and efficiently as possible.
We can go back.
Take a break.
Okay.
Joe.
So I came down a summary of audits.
Yes.
I first
Make sure all the mics are on.
Push the button to green.
Okay.
Everyone, push your
Now I know.
Thank you.
So the summary of the audits is since the last meeting. And it goes over we've done 13 audits, 3 of which have been construction audits because they started construction in June. I have to admit, if you take a look at the audits in May, I maybe have 4 pictures per audit. There's really not much more happening than the placement of waste. Now they've got, seeding project, a construction excavation project. They're going to be doing a liner within early next month. Let's see if there are any other highlights. There's 19 wells placed, 3 of which are redrills. Everything else is new, and there's been no odor complaints since March, since the previous meeting.
That's awesome. Good job, guys.
That's great.
Perfect.
All Chad.
Anybody have any questions for Joe? Nothing? All good? Okay. Now, Joe.
Okay.
Clay extraction.
Yeah. As Joe mentioned, we are moving some clay as part of a 3-acre cell construction that's going on at the site right now. The clay placement is going to one of 2 locations on site. We are constructing a new compost pad on top of the closed Future Parklands landfill, where the compost operation will eventually be moved to. And then there's a stockpile further to the east of that area where the excess material is going. So the cell construction project will probably continue on through late August, early September time frame. That will include, putting some clay back as part of the clay liner, and then the installation of geosynthetics and leachate collection stone and some leachate piping and those types of things. So it is a project that will, like I said, continue on through most of the construction season at the site. Other than that, there's no other, clay extraction activities other than what's associated with the cell construction at this point.
Okay, so there's nothing going in and out. It's all based right there. Okay.
Correct.
All righty. Any questions? MMSD project.
Yeah, we continue to deliver down to the district. I just checked the numbers this morning. We were right around 1,800 SCFM of gas to the district and 500 through the flare this morning. And when we left the site following the tour, it looked like the flare was not in operation. So it's possible that the district may have actually been taking everything that we were, which is nice. Yeah. So the delivery rates have been probably the highest that they've been all year in the last month and a half. things have gone pretty well. We've had, typical operation and maintenance of the gas plant from our perspective, but has not really resulted in significant downtimes in terms of delivery to the district. I believe the district does have a shutdown for some pipe work that they do. That'll probably come up sometime in July or August, and we will take that opportunity for anything that we need to do at our facility and try to coordinate that during that downtime. But other than that, we've had a pretty good stretch of delivery to the district of our landfill gas.
Great. Okay. Electronic recycling.
Yeah, I think and some of the folks here got a chance to kind of look at the area. Our residential drop-off site and electronic recycling program continues. We plan on relocating that as part of some of that other work that we're doing out front as well, maybe sometime in August and September. I mentioned this, I think, even at the last meeting. We do have a new attendant that I think is doing a really good job of keeping the area organized and clean. He's also, I think, been a real advocate for holding some of the folks' feet to the fire in terms of the amount of material that they're bringing in and where they may be coming from. So I think it has improved the operation, and just the organization of the area, I think, is probably as good as I've seen it since I've been here.
Nice. Very good. Okay, so that pretty much covers the residential drop-off as well then?
It does.
Pretty much, okay. Well, testing and water protection.
Frank could not be here. He had a previous commitment. What I can say is that the event that was originally scheduled for late last year and then was delayed because of the COVID concerns was completed in February and March. We did have a small issue with the lab on some of the holding times for some of the samples that were taken, so we had to go back out and do some resampling. But all of the letters have been sent to the private well owners, and I believe Frank, just within the last week, did a little bit of a summary report for the committee.
Yeah,
to Mark's attention. So
I actually just saw this when I got here today, and it showed that there was one that had an issue.
There was one resident that I believe he had a enforcement standard exceedance for a volatile organic compound. I think it was THF.
Right.
And we certainly don't believe it's anything landfill related. It's more so probably some of the activities on his property.
Gotcha.
And Frank, I think, was very, he had a good conversation, let's put it this way, with the homeowner on some improvements that maybe they could be making with some of those activities around the home to make sure that that does not happen again. So,
Gotcha.
What's that chemical?
I think it was.
Did these only go to Mark?
Is it?
I don't remember ever getting one.
It's the only one I can.
That was the tetrachloroethane.
The dry cleaner?
Cleaning solvent?
Yeah. So
Wasn't my neighbor, was it?
I believe it was somebody off of 7 Mile. I don't.
Oh,
I'd
good.
have to. So
Not my neighbor.
yeah.
All righty.
Illegal dry cleaner.
Did you get that?
Plan modification
Get that
issues.
notice?
There's nothing currently pending with the department. Like Joe mentioned, we did have to go through a plan modification process for the installation of the
I think a couple years ago.
new gas wells. So we received that approval back in May.
Okay.
And that's literally right when we started doing the installations themselves. So, but other than that, there's nothing currently in for review at the department.
Okay. And property protection sociological, there's nothing.
Nothing really to report on at this point.
Okay. You haven't bought it, and nobody's called you and said, buy my house yet.
Have not heard any.
Brace
interest.
yourself, 'cause
Yeah.
they're coming. Household hazardous waste.
So everyone should have received the report. It does show that there has been a significant increase in the use of the sites just by people. But these numbers really echo what we saw in 2018 and 2019. They're very much on par with where we were at this point in the year, those other years. So all signs are like things are getting back to normal. So we are seeing pounds per user up about an average of 10 pounds per user as well. So it'll be something that we do need to continue to keep an eye on throughout the year. But otherwise things seem to be going well. The site update is we came out with Veolia and GFL and had a site meeting maybe 6-8 weeks ago at this point. And everybody left with a couple of action items. And the biggest one was Veolia and GFL are signing an agreement for liability and different things for site use. I've heard that is in the final stages of having both sides' lawyers agree to it. So things continue to move along. The next thing is we need to get a better understanding of what the costs for the building will be to make any repairs to make the site usable. So.
And what are we looking at? What is your thoughts on time schedule on that?
So we're hoping, although it does not need to open it up at the same time as the residential drop-off center in September-ish, we're probably thinking that depending on what those repairs are for the building, it'll be about that same timeline.
Okay.
I have a question. What is the status of getting rid of gasoline and oil today, and where can you go with it?
Gasoline would be a hazardous waste, so that could be brought to any of the 2 current operating sites, City of Waukesha and Menominee Falls. Oil is a little bit of a different beast. Typically, there are a variety of sites throughout the county, but typically people can work with their local garage or any place that does car repairs may accept it.
Okay, well, as far as that gasoline goes, is there ever going to be something more local for us to dispose of it?
So once that new site opens up at the landfill in September, that would be the closest.
Okay,
they would take the
good.
gasoline,
Yeah.
but not the oil.
Because I have a hunch that, people have been accumulating that over the last 2 years and shouldn't really be accumulating at a residence. So.
Yeah, we do encourage people to bring them to the 2 operational sites.
Okay, well, again, from our area here to drive a couple gallons of gas up to Menominee Falls or out to Waukesha isn't the most desirable situation either. So sooner that thing opens, I think people will be happy to be able to take it locally again.
Rolling IED. Rolling IED.
Alrighty. So anybody else have anything they want to ask? All right. New business, discussion, update, possible action taken on the following. There is none. Continued business, update on odor complaints. It sounds like everything is under control. We haven't gotten anything at the city either, right?
No.
I've gotten one probably like 4 weeks ago, and that's been it, guys, for a very, very long time. So,
Yeah.
and we were all copied on the emails. I don't know if, Joe, you've gotten any other ones, but I have only gotten the one. I haven't even gotten anything during the construction of the wells either. Nothing has come up to me during that. And, you open up a landfill, you might get one or another. But that's it. So if anyone else has any other ones, but it's been a very good kind of odor control time period, so.
Can you ask if they want me to take that off?
Yeah, I think, does anybody have a problem with Wendy taking this off the agenda now? Do we feel all warm and fuzzy?
No.
No? No
So-
problem?
Hopefully it doesn't reoccur.
Right, well, if it does, we know we
Does-
put it back.
yeah,
but-
business.
Yeah. How about you, Harv? You all right with it?
What difference does it make if it's on or not? What's the purpose
Well,
of
it's
taking it
just,
off?
well, then we,
Keystrokes.
it's a keystroke and it's a question we don't have to ask because it's, I mean, it's like some of these that we've already taken off where it's, we just kept asking the question and there was never anything to report.
I don't have an opinion one way or the other. I don't.
Okay.
Just for everyone's knowledge, why we like to keep these clean is, okay, when we do make changes, a lot of times we go back and look, and when we see changes on agenda items or everything, we can track down things. It's very interesting how, not just for this committee, for every committee, we'll ask Jill to go find something from 20 years ago, and we start with agenda items. And when we see items go on and off, we can then start tracking down exact meetings and pull up the sound bites for it. So for me, kind of taking things off, it kind of settles things down, and then we know where to find and track things. Devices are recorded, everything's there. It's a good way for us to track things. And that's just one of the things, and it's not just this, it's when we put things on, off and on agenda items, you would be surprised how we have to track down things. And it's very important for us to kind of keep this straight. If we have things linger, and I'll say this with more of my other committee, it keeps going on forever and ever. We don't get things off. We need to get things off committees. So if it's not on there anymore, not that it could come back, and that's great, but it's not great that it could come back, but it always can. It's the fact that it seems like the one issue that we had here has been solved, and there might be another order issue down the way, but it keeps it separate from this so that we know we solved one thing, and then if it's another thing, we can pinpoint that. That's just history and some of the stuff, how we work at the city, just to track down things. So, yeah. Side note.
Okay. Everybody's good with it then? Okay. Okay, review of payments made and committee funds. Did everybody get a chance to look at that? It wasn't anything unusual, just mostly coming in and you guys going out.
Yeah. Kind of the usual.
Right, exactly. And what's confirmation of the next meeting? Well, where is our open? Okay. Confirmation of the next meeting date. We had October 4th, 5 o'clock.
Okay, location?
All good? Here. All good? Okay.
One other thing I just want to bring up. So, it doesn't have to be decided now. You guys can do it next one. If this meeting will be here, but I asked kind of like next time, and I think you guys should all take a chance and see how this works. Do you want to move back to the landfill, or I highly suggest here at the room set up, everyone can access it. It's all recorded. Everyone can see every information. If anyone needs a set of plans, I can bring them, Chad, I can print my laptop up. This room's designed to be public record, and it's kind of welcoming for any guest. So look, you can see how many chairs we can fill. If there's a big hot item, we have everyone that can be in here. Everything's recorded. You guys are all recorded. It's a kind of a pain in the butt with me bringing an Apple laptop that like kind of runs out once in a while and stuff. I know this information, it is as important as any other meeting, and this room's designed for it. And any public, I know there's not a lot here, but if they do want to come, I think it's a little bit more welcoming than maybe the landfill. I'm just throwing it out there, but I would maybe probably next meeting have you guys vote on it, but I highly suggest that you keep having these meetings here.
And we talked about it at the last meeting.
Yeah.
Does anybody have any objections to it being here?
Nope.
No.
No? Well, then can we just vote on making this our meeting place? All in favor?
or if you guys want to do it next agenda item and
Oh,
put
'cause we have to
official.
Put it on, yeah, we have.
I
to
would
put
say
it-
probably just be official, and Mark will be here. We'll put it on next agenda item, then you guys can all vote, and it's official and everything, and you guys can all think about it for one more time. But just letting everyone know, and then everyone has time to do it. We're not sneaking anything through. Mark will be back, and everyone can talk about it, so,
That works.
Okay.
all right?
All righty. No more comments. Anybody have anything they want to add tonight? Then I would be looking for a motion to adjourn.
Want to officially hit citizen commentary, even though there's no one here?
Well, I asked if there were any other comments. So I guess citizens' commentary, is there any other comments?
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
Oh, you didn't have a comment. Okay. All in favor? Aye. Adjourned at
Good guy.
5:52.